Hello, Dark Reader, and welcome to the Dark Side of the Library podcast. I'm your host, KT. Today, we are going to go through all of the new YA books that have been released during May of 2023. We have probably like 10-ish, and it's just going to be me today, so bear with me. I will be reading a lot off of a prompt, so I apologize. Let's get started. We have All the Dead Lie Down. This came out May 16th. This is by Kyrie McCauley. This is #1 new release in teens and young adult fiction about death and dying. So if that's something you want, it's #1. So it says, the sleeping house was very much awake. Days after a tragedy leaves Maren Blythe alone in the world, she receives a surprising invitation from Alice Lovelace, an acclaimed horror author, writer, and childhood friend of Maren's mother. Alice offers her a nanny position at Lovelace House, the family's coastal Maine estate. Maren accepts and soon finds herself minding Alice's peculiar girls. Thea buries her dolls one by one, hosting a series of funerals. That's kind of cute. There's something wrong with me. While Wren does everything in her power to drive Maren away. Then Alice's eldest daughter returns home unexpectedly. Evie Hollowell is every bit as strange as her younger sisters, and yet Maren is quickly drawn in by Evie's compelling behavior and ethereal grace. But as Maren settles in, she can't escape the anxiety that follows her like a shadow. Death birds appear in Maren's room. The children's pranks escalate. Something dangerous lurks in the woods, leaving mutilated animals in its wake. All is not well at the Lovelace house, and Maren must unravel its secrets before they consume her. This sounds cool. I actually will probably pick this up, and as you can see, the cover is cool. That's a giveaway for me. Anyway, this is All the Dead Lie Down. This is by Kyrie McCauley. Next on our list today, we have Court of Undying Seasons. This is by A.M. Strickland. So this is kind of, if you are a fan of Sarah J. Maas, it's a mix of her stuff with like a deadly education. So it's a queer YA dark fantasy. When 19-year-old Finn volunteers to take her secret love's place in their village finding, she is terrified. Those who are chosen at the finding are whisked away to Castle Courtsheart, a vampire school where human students either succeed and become vampires, fail and spend the rest of their lives as human thralls. Well, that is quite a predicament. Or they don't survive long enough to become either. There's a third option. So Finn is determined to forge a different path, learn how to kill the undead, and get revenge for her mom, who was taken by vampires years ago. But Courtsheart is as captivating as it is deadly, and Finn is quickly swept up in her new world and its inhabitants, particularly Qvam, her handsome and hostile vampire maker, whose blood is nothing short of intoxicating. As Finn begins to discover new aspects of her own identity and test her newfound powers, she stumbles across a string of murders that may be connected to a larger ritual, one with potentially lethal consequences for vampires and humans alike. Finn must uncover the truth and find the killer before she loses her life or betrays her own heart. So this is Court of Undying Seasons. This is by A.M. Strickland. All right, next on our list today, this one's kind of fun. This is the last Canto of the Dead Outlaw Saints. This is actually the second book. So two gods turned teenagers waged simultaneous battles in the Caribbean and Brooklyn. So this is the sequel to Ballard and Dagger. So if you've never read that before, maybe we won't go through that as much. So Ballard and Dagger was actually released last year in May of 2022, so only a year. And it's a urban fantasy about two teens who discover each other and their powers during a political battle within a unique diaspora community. So it sounds really interesting. It has a lot of multicultural knits together if you like urban fantasy. So if you like visibility, and this apparently might be featured on Disney Plus. That's pretty cool. So check out the Outlaw Saints series. The newest novel has come out, and it should be very good. Lots of people really enjoy it. So people have been anticipating the sequel. Next on our list, it's actually a collection, so a box set. This might be a really great gift. Keep in mind, like, I know Christmas is like 6 months away, but I like collecting presents early because last minute shopping is horrible. So this is called The Last Hours Complete Collection. So that includes Chain of Gold, Chain of Iron, and Chain of Thorns. This is by Cassandra Clare. And I've heard of these novels before. It was a best-selling book series. These are also considered like the Shadow Hunter novels. Cordelia Corstairs is a shadow hunter. A warrior trains since childhood to battle demons, traveling to London in hopes of preventing her family's ruin. Determined to be a hero rather than a bride, Cordelia soon reconnects with childhood friends James and Lucy Herondale, and is drawn into the world of glittering ballrooms, secret assignations, and supernatural salons, where vampires and warlocks mingle with mermaids and magicians. All the while, she must hide her love for James, who is sworn to marry someone else. So everything is about to be blown apart as a series of shocking demon attacks threaten London. So we follow Cordelia and her friends as they defend, honor, love, dark legacy, gifts, blah, blah, blah. So this is The Last Hours. It's a complete box set collection. Is 2,048 pages in total for the 3 novels in here. It's a big, big book. This is for reading ages 14 years and up, so for more prolific readers. Check it out. Next on our list today is perfect for anybody who's going on a boat ride. It's Lying in the Deep. After being jilted by her ex-boyfriend and best friend, Jade couldn't be more excited to embark on the adventure of a lifetime. 11 countries in 4 months, all from the luxurious campus on board ship. And to wedge an entire globe between her and the people who broke her heart. But when Jade discovers a backstabbing couple are also setting sail, her obsession with them grows and festers, leading to a shocking murder. And as their friends begin to drop like flies, Jade and her new crush must race to clear her name and find the killer they're trapped at sea with before anyone else ends up dead in body bags. This is for older readers, so reading ages 14 through 17. This is Lying in the Deep by Diana Urban. So if you are going on like a cruise, this is the perfect book for summertime. Next on our list today, we have St. Juniper's Folly. This is by Alex Crespo, and it actually got pushed to June. We're already in June, so let's just do it. This comes out June 6th. It's basically like Cemetery Boys meets The Haunting of Bly Manor. For Jamie, returning to the Vermont town of St. Juniper means returning to a past he spent 8 years trying to forget. After shuttling between foster homes, he hopes to make something out of this fresh new start, but every gossip in town already knows his business, and with reminders of his past everywhere, he seeks out solitude in the nearby woods, St. Juniper's Folly, and just does not return. For Theo, St. Juniper means being stuck. He knows there's more out there, but he's scared to go find it. His senior year is going to be like the rest, dull, claustrophobic, that is, until he wanders into the Folly and stumbles upon a haunted house with an acerbic yet handsome boy trapped, as in physically trapped, inside. For Taylor, so far we have like 4 characters. So for Taylor, St. Juniper is a mystery. She tries to practice the magic her dad banned from the house after her mom, an accomplished witch, suddenly died. But without someone to guide her, she's floundering. Then a wide-eyed teenager barges into her life, rambling about a haunted house and a trapped boy, He needs a witch. The Folly and its ghost will draw these three teenagers together, but can they face their demons to forge a bond strong enough to escape the Folly's shadow? This actually sounds really good. I think I might get it. This is for reading ages 14 through 17. This is St. Juniper's Folly. Next on our list today, we have Spindle of Life. This is by C.L. Qvam. Once again, back in the Agnes's clutches, Charlie fears that her days with magic are numbered. That is, until she stumbles upon a secret group of rebels with an extra seat at their table reserved for the child of life, all in caps, a girl foretold to set their magic free. Drawn to the handsome rebel leader, Charlie decides to act the part and bands together with the rebels to overthrow the Agnes. But to do so, she must first find a way to connect with her own magic, which might just mean embracing who she truly is. Oh no! I know, it's actually hard. I don't mean to be a jerk. So with freedom, belonging, and identity at stake, Charlie distractedly navigates the Agnes's oppressive regime, first love, and her newfound family's expectations, realizing too late that there are even darker forces at play and must pay the price with death as its cashier. This came out in May, and this is going to be a part of a trilogy called The Spindle of Life. This is by C.L. Qvam. Next on our list today is Stranger Danger, underlined, by Maren Stoffels. So this is, apparently she's a powerhouse, a horror powerhouse. This is actually for reading ages 12 through 17. So even younger readers can read this. No phones, no internet. Already the horror is setting in. No social media at all. Those kids are going to die. That's what it's going to take to finally get serious about school and focus on exams. Yes. Nova, Vin, and Lotus even rented a farmhouse in the middle of nowhere so they won't get distracted. How did they rent a farmhouse? How old are these kids? After that, everything can go back to normal, but they're not alone. Someone is watching them from the forest. Someone who knows their secrets. Someone who wants revenge. And things will never be the same again. So this one is fun. This is called Stranger Danger. I'm excited for this one for some reason. It's such a simple little, blurb, and it just sounds great. But I still want to know how those kids rented a farmhouse. This is by Maren Stoffels. We have 4 more books on our list, so stay tuned for the end. We have The Thorns Remain. Beautiful cover. A dance with the Fae will change everything. Imagine 1919 in a highland village forgotten by the world. The young people who remain after war and flu will soon head south to make something of themselves. Moira Jean and her friends venture to the forest for a last night of laughter before parting ways. Moira Jean is being left behind. She too planned to leave once, but her lover died in France, and with him, her future. Oh. The friends light a fire and dance, but with every twirl about the flames, strange new dancers thread between them, music stemming from the trees. The Fae have joined the dance. Suddenly, Moira Jean finds herself all alone. Her friends spirited away. For the Fae feel left behind and forgotten too. Led by the darkly handsome Lord of the Fae, they are out to make themselves known once more. Moira Jean must enter into a bargain with the Lord to save her friends, and fast, for the longer they spend with the Fae, less like themselves they will be upon return. If Moira cannot save her friends before Beltane, they will be lost forever. This would have been so fun if this was released on Beltane or before Beltane, but it's still an awesome spring and summer read. This is The Thorns Remain by J.J.A. Harwood. Next, we have one that has a really cool cover. It's called Threads That Bind. This is by Kika Hatzopoulou. I cannot pronounce that, I apologize. Descendants of the Fates are always born in threes. One to weave, one to draw, and one to cut the threads that connect people to the things they love and to life itself. The Aura sisters are no exception. Io, the youngest, uses her fate-born abilities as a private investigator in the half-sunken city of Atlanti. But her latest job leads her to a horrific discovery. Somebody is abducting women, maiming their life strands, and setting the resulting wraiths loose in the city to kill. To find the culprit, she must work alongside Ade Runa, the right hand of the infamous Mob Queen, and the boy with whom she shares a rare fate thread linking them as soulmates before they've even met. Ooh, I like this. The investigation turns personal when Io's estranged oldest sister shows up on the arm of her best suspect. Amid unveiled secrets from her past and her growing feelings for Ade, Io must follow clues through the city's darkest corners and unearth a conspiracy that involves some of the city's most powerful players before destruction comes to her own doorstep. This sounds very good. This is Threads That Bind. This came out May 30th. I am very excited about it. It's by Kika Hatzopoulou. Next on our list today, we have Under Kingdom. This is maybe a series of different books. The cover is cute. It's actually a graphic novel. This is by Christof Bogacs, and Marie Enger is the illustrator. School can be hard. Making friends can be harder. Taking your mother's place as the guardian of a secret subterranean kingdom of monsters just might be impossible. After the sudden disappearance of his mom, high school freshman Shay is thrust into a secret world of monsters that exists underneath his small West Virginian town. With the help of his shape-shifting aunt, Sabelle, he must search for his mother while doing what he can to safeguard its citizens of the Under Kingdom and try to maintain his normal high school life. If that wasn't enough, Shay's no fighter, but the Under Kingdom demands he take arms to protect his friends and family. Shay struggles to balance school, his new crush, and training to become a warrior when an army of dwarves declares war on the Under Kingdom. He will need to find a way to balance who he is with protecting all of the monster kind from war. It's an epic adventure set in a very colorful world. It's got a lot of mischievous imps that are sock stealers. They have adorable dragons, rowdy orcs, and a whole bunch of fun, strange creatures. So this is Under Kingdom. This is by Christof Bogacs and Marie Enger. Our last book today is called We Don't Swim Here. This came out May 30th. This is by Vincent Tirado. Here we have Bronwyn is only supposed to be in rural Hillwoods for a year. Her grandmother is in hospice and her father needs to get her affairs in order. And they're all meant to make some final memories together. Except Bronwyn is miserable. Her grandmother is dying. Everyone is standoffish, and she can't even go swimming. All she hears are warnings about going in the water, despite a gorgeous lake, and a pool at the abandoned rec center, and another high school, and another body of water in the high school basement. Anae tries her hardest to protect Bronwyn from the shadows of Hillwoods. She follows her own rituals to avoid any unnecessary attention. And if she can just get Bronwyn to stop asking questions, she can protect her too. The less Bronwyn pays attention to Hillwoods, the less Hillwoods will pay attention to Bronwyn. She doesn't get that the lore is, well, truth, history, pain. The living aren't the only ones that seek retribution when they're wronged. But when Bronwyn does more exploring than she should, they are both in for danger they couldn't expect. So this is We Don't Swim Here. This is by Vincent Tirado. That is the last of all the YA books that have come out in May. Stay tuned for June. As we approach Halloween, you're going to see an uptick in all the creepy books, and I'm very excited about it. Make sure to tune in every Wednesday and Friday if you are looking for some other dark reads, adult fiction, nonfiction, comics, etc. And to spread the word of Dark Side of the Library, tell your friends, family, your loved ones, let people know about Dark Side of the Library, especially if they are dark readers. Thanks so much for listening. Make sure to check out our other socials on Instagram, Facebook, our Amazon Live channel, and our YouTube. If you are already on YouTube, come join us on our podcast. Thanks so much. Have a creeptastic rest of your week.